What's going on, everybody? Here, and welcome back to Z1 Acres. So today, we're going to talk about this planter. Now, these videos are going to be out of order. I've used this planter already, but I wanted to make this video of this planter before the video of me using the planter, planting the sweet corn, because I have some thoughts and opinions on it, and I want those thoughts and opinions to be addressed before using it, so that people know. Now, what we're going to be talking about is this little 2-row planter here from LMC Ag. And I'm going to talk about what I like about it and what I don't like about it, and whether or not maybe you would want to go out and purchase one yourself. So it is a corn planter, bean planter. It does not have different plates. You cannot change these plates in here. There's one plate for corn and beans or anything like about that size. So I contacted the company, I asked, hey, do you guys have any other plates? They said, nope. They said it has what it comes with. So let's go talk about the planting of it, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So we planted 2 different areas of corn. One of it's just regular field corn, and which is like, you know, cattle corn, things like that, you just whatever. And the other one is sweet corn. Well, I planted the sweet corn first, and we're gonna go take a look at that. But over here, we actually planted regular corn. Now this is where I want to talk about, does it plant? Yes, it does plant. Look, we've got corn there, corn there, corn there, corn there. But let's talk about this a little bit here. Let's kind of get out here, because this was like our first row on this plot of land right here. So let's actually kind of go out into the middle here, where we had the hoppers relatively full. Like, I mean, they're pretty full. And let's just talk about the planting. So you can already see, maybe right in here, I don't know how else it's gonna show up on camera. There's a corn plant. There's no other corn plants till right there. And then there's corn, there's some corn plants there. There's no other corn plants till right here. So sometimes it doesn't like to plant. Other times it likes to plant very well. So you can kind of see very intermittent. You can see, boom, corn, relatively, whatever, space, some corn, big space, corn, big space, corn, so on and so forth. And it does that everywhere. I don't know what the deal is, but so it's planting, its population or whatever, population control, I think is, I don't know. Not great. not great. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, so, okay, I didn't plant I didn't plant every 6 inches like it's supposed to, whatever. You know, it's 2-row corn planter, whatever, it's fine. Well, let's talk about the flip side of that. Let me just go over here. We're gonna go over to my sweet corn after this, where it's a lot bigger, and you'll be able to see this a little bit better. But let me just go ahead and find a spot right. Well, here we go. So corn there, corn there, corn there. That's a double planting. So it planted 2 seeds right there, and it's only supposed to plant 1. Planted 3 right here, 1, 2, 3. 3 seeds dropped at the same time. There's 2 seeds just chilling there, right next to each other, that it dropped at the same time. Now, mind you, I did go through. We had the thing cleaned out. We had it all nice and clean. We had made sure there's no blockages, things like that. The basic maintenance stuff, you know, like I used to work on aircraft. I've worked on vehicles my life. I'm not an idiot. I know how things work. And it just doesn't seem like the feed mechanism is super great. Now, I want to talk about another issue right here, right now as well, because this is a very apparent area. This whole area, we tilled. About 6 to 8 inches deep with a tiller. The issue we have with this planter, and the number one issue with it, is if you can see right here, that corn is sitting right there on the top. It cannot plant deep enough continuously. So we were having issues getting it to go deeper. Now, the whole time we're planting this field over here, we're messing with it. We're trying to get it to go deeper. We're trying to plant deeper. And there's usually just, you know, a couple things you adjust and boom, shoots right in the ground, right? This was tilled and it still was dragging the surface. Like if this was tilled the day we planted, like an hour before, and it still could not get through the ground to plant deep enough. And I mean, some places it planted deep enough to where the corn sprouted, and it did sprout. And honestly, the population might be better if the corn was covered. So let's go, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go over to my sweet corn, and I'm gonna show you my sweet corn. And then we're gonna look at the planter, and I'm gonna show you what I did. I'm gonna tell you what the manual says, and I'm gonna tell you my final opinions on it. So stay tuned. All right, so here's my sweet corn. You can see it's much taller now. I'm having deer get in here and eating the tops of this off. I'm gonna be putting an electric fence up around here. But this is my sweet corn. This is the first stuff they planted. But you can see exactly the same issue. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There's like 4 there, 5 there, 3 there. Look at the population on this. 1, 2, 3, 4 planted there. I'm gonna have to go through and pull the small ones out of here just to make sure that the big ones can still survive. So look at stupid deer eating all the tops of those off. But you can see it does plant. Yes, did it plant it? Yes, it did. Now, let's talk about, so the depth problem, right? This, I had to go over afterwards and cover it up. Now, this was also tilled. That was also tilled. The only part that was not tilled was right here. And I don't know if you can see this. There's one there. You can see exactly where the discs were riding, and they made it maybe a 1/4 inch into the ground. See, look at, there's the corn right there. There it is. All right there. Because it doesn't go into the ground. Now, let's go over the planter and let's actually talk about this. I'm gonna address some of the, well, did you try this? Did you try this kind of stuff? I want to talk about it while I'm over there. All right, so let's talk about the planter. Let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? Now, this planter, like I said, LMC Ag. I have nothing against LMC Ag. I looked on their website. Their bigger stuff seems nice. It's the small stuff. It's the little stuff that seems to be kind of an issue. Now, I originally thought that this planter was from Georgia, because it says, LMC, please contact if you have concerns with this unit. LMC Ag, Albany, Georgia, all this stuff, right? I was like, oh, cool, United States made. No, it's not. I don't think, I'm not gonna make a claim that I don't know 100%. However, I believe these are imported from India. The smaller equipment, I believe it's an import. Now, let's talk, so that's not necessarily an issue. I don't really care about where it's made, as long as it works, right? Let's talk about the depth. So this machine has a fertilizer hopper and then the seed hopper, right? You put your seed in there, it goes down, it plants. The fertilizer goes down in here, plants, right? So we've got 2 sets of discs. These cutter discs, these things are sharp, okay? They should cut 6 inches into the ground like that, no problem. Like when you drop this thing on the back of a tractor, it should penetrate the ground, no problem. Let alone tilled ground. So what we did to try to troubleshoot this, one, I was like, okay, maybe these back wheels right here, these have springs on them, and you know, maybe that's an issue, right? All these wheels do, these drive the whole thing. It's just chain driven. You can see the chains right there. This whole thing drives it, and it spins, it rotates everything, and plants it, right? There's no weight on this whatsoever, and that disc is still just chilling there. Now, this front wheel, right? That front wheel's in there. We took this wheel off, completely off, and we set this thing down without that wheel. Those 2 discs will just not go into the ground. They just won't. I don't know if it needs more weight, if you need to stand on this. It will not dig any deeper in the ground. Now, to keep in mind here, I wanna, like, we tried that, you know, we have, and when I say me, I mean me and my dad. We have mechanical understandings of how things work, right? We know how things work. My dad's been farming forever. So this planter isn't a very old school design, you know? Rear wheel drives it, you have gears that drive everything else, that's fine. So we know how these things are supposed to work and how they do work. And for some reason, this one, we just can't get it to do what we need it to do. I don't know if it's like, it came down to the point where we honestly were thinking that this assembly right here was actually holding everything up, because, so you got your spring in here, but I don't know. It just seems like it was getting stuck on this point because this disc could not go any deeper. It's like it was pivoting on this disc for some reason. I have no idea. Now, another issue that we had with it is, take a look at these hoppers. If anybody's ever used a funnel in their life, if you want a bulk thing to flow downwards into a tube, you need some kind of funnel, right? Right, like otherwise it just won't go. Tell me how well you think a flat bottom funnels into this tube that has a lip. Like, explain that. Unless the seed's up to here, nothing's going in there. And when you're planting sweet corn, if you're only planting a small amount of sweet corn, you're not putting that much seed in the hopper. You're not. Like this is all field corn. This is all field corn still here. But you're not putting that much seed in here. So like, I had to pour it right in the tube and make sure the tube was full. So this hopper design, absolutely the worst. It's complete trash. Like it's a funnel with a flat bottom. Now I want to talk about some other things here. I am very grateful for the people at Greenway in the Little Rock Sherwood Greenway there. It's brand new. Rob, super amazing guy, very nice. If you need anything if you're in the area, go over there. They're super nice. Anyways, let me talk about how we got this thing. So I got this, I received it. Now this might not be them, this might be you just receiving, I don't know. But the guys at Greenway got it all taken care of for me. They're absolutely amazing, didn't charge me anything, it was all fixed. I received it with this knob broken right there. Well, actually, you know what, it was this one. This knob was completely broken. This shaft was bent like this. This would not even drive at all. It would just completely stop and lock up the chain. So there were some quality control issues there. Like I said, I don't know if it came from factory. I don't know if it was a shipping thing. But you know what? Honestly, with everything else going on with this thing, like, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if it happened there and it just got shipped. You know, they just said send it, and anyways, they got sent. And the final thing that I have with this, and the cherry on the cake, and the reason that I'm making this video, this was not a cheap planter. Maybe in the comparison of all the planters out there, this was like $4,000 for this planter. $4,000. I would expect a certain level of quality for that money. Now again, this is not John Deere, this is not Frontier, this is not them. They were just selling it on behalf of, LMC Ag or whatever, because people wanted 2-row planters. This is like the only 2-row corn planter you can find, other than like Gaspardo, and that thing is like $12,000, and that's like, it uses vacuum technology. It's crazy. It's a huge 2-row planter. But this is like the only new ones you can find. Everything else, John Deere doesn't make them anymore. Frontier doesn't make them. John Deere, come on, 2-row corn planter. Let's go. Let's make them. The ones that you typically see are homemade ones from bigger planters that people chop down into 2-row planters. And that's typically what's being used. Or the really, really old John Deere planters, which work the same way, except they work. So that is why I'm making this video. That's why I want to make a PSA, like, hey, think about this before you buy it. Will it plant corn? Yes. Did it? It did. It planted the corn. Like, technically, it's growing, it's fine. But for that kind of money, I can't recommend it at all. I can't. All the problems it came with, like I said, the guys at John Deere, amazing. They fixed everything for me. No problems, no questions asked. Like, hey, yep, this is to be fixed. It shouldn't even be received that way. So it's not them at all. I don't want to put any blame on them, but this machine it's not there. So if you're out looking for a 2-row corn planter and you see an LMC Ag one, you see this one sitting out there, unless they make some changes, I would just stay away. I would just stay away. I would go get a hand planter from Harbor Freight or from Tractor Supply or something and just go that route. It wasn't worth the headache that it is. And like I said, I adjusted everything according to the manual that I received, which is also very broken English. It was just a translation that doesn't make any sense. I worked everything to the manual. I tried to get everything working as it said. The manual actually said that this plate was adjustable. This disc right here, if you wanted to adjust the depth, to adjust the support on this support, there's 2 bolts in this bracket. There's no adjusting it. If I take a bolt out of here and lower it down, it's gonna flop around. So like that doesn't work. So again, nothing against LMC Ag, like the company. I just wish they would have did a little bit of research and a little bit of looking into this machine specifically before they decided to like, hey, pick it up and really like rebrand and resell. I don't have any issues with them, and if you're from LMC Ag, I'm sorry, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do with it, because it just doesn't do what I need it to do. So I can't sell it because I know how bad it is. Like I can't righteously, I'd feel terrible about selling to somebody. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. I do appreciate it. And like I said, I want to make this video prior to my other video coming out, because I'm going to be using it, planting, and I'm like, yeah, it works just fine, you know, all this stuff. It's like, it worked fine until I started looking at it, until I started being a little bit more critical. Because you know when you get a new toy, right? It can do no wrong. Anything that's wrong with it, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. That's the same thing. I had it, I was loving it, I was like super excited, I overlooked everything, I was like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And then, like I said, my dad came down, we planted field corn. He's been planting corn and beans for years. And he's like, yeah, this thing's a piece. So, and you know, when an older farmer says that something is a piece, it's generally a piece, because they'll use the same thing forever until they absolutely need a new one. So there it is. LMC Ag 2-row planter. Enjoy, do what you gotta do. Make your decisions. If you want it, cool. If you don't want it, cool. I'm not saying anything about them. I'm just saying this planter specifically. I have no affiliation with anybody, and I don't have another 2-row planter to compare it with. So, but yeah, thanks again for coming out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy some sun, enjoy some fun, and we'll have some of these follow-up videos coming soon. They're old videos. I recorded them like, one of them was like 2 weeks ago, one was like 2 months ago. So I'm gonna get those videos out after this one. I do apologize. Also, video of this guy maybe coming up soon. Yeah, ooh, a 5125, baby, let's go. It's not mine. It's not mine. So but yeah, thanks again for coming out. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time on Z1 Acres. Bye everybody.